Brothers and sisters, how are we doing today? Welcome back to another episode of Pre-Gym Pondering, which has honestly just as many benefits as post-gym pondering, right? You know, a little bit of a different mindset, a little bit of a different mood. I kind of want to talk about real quick this morning, imposter syndrome. Thing can rear its ugly head when you least expect it, and I've never really struggled too much with imposter syndrome. Actually, that's not true. I feel like to a certain extent, almost everything in my life that I've engaged with, I felt a certain level of like not necessarily belonging or feeling like, you know, you don't have what it takes, or you don't have the knowledge or skill sets needed, or, you know, all of a sudden you wind up in a spot. Like, for example, with my promotion at work, you know, I've been working for this company for 7 months, but I've only been in the health and fitness world for that same amount of time as far as being employed. And now all of a sudden I'm in a new job with a lot more responsibility, a lot of different, you know, things that I have to learn how to do, and not only know how to do, but be proficient at and be able to execute at a high level. I mean, all the time, ideally, but a very high percentage of the time if I want to be successful and if I want to reap all the potential rewards of this new position. You know, there's a lot of potential, but you don't just receive what you possibly could without any of the work, obviously. And, you know, it's a learning process, and in a lot of cases there's things that I didn't even think about that would be a part of this. And, you know, this is like my first true office job. It's still not a direct office job, you know, like just filling out spreadsheets or whatever 8-9 hours a day, but it's a lot of behind the desk work. It's a lot of, you know, consults and phone calls and texting and reach outs and stuff like that. And obviously too, right now, a lot of onboarding, a lot of learning new systems, new processes. And it's a lot. It is overwhelming. And yesterday, especially, I allowed myself to become very overwhelmed. And instead of, you know, putting into practice what I preach, you know, slowing down, being in the moment, and just getting to work, just doing something, just using your time to do something, even if you're not sure if it's the right thing or the best thing to be doing at the moment, like just do something. Doing something is better than just sitting there and staring off into the abyss and feeling some sort of dread creeping in, because you're allowing your subconscious mind to affect you and make you feel like you're not adequate. You aren't capable of learning these things. You can never, you know, then too, you start comparing to other people in a similar position as you who have been there way longer. You got to understand that these phases of life are going to happen. They're going to come. And when you're in moments of mass confusion and just almost hopelessness, feeling like you aren't capable of doing something, you have to understand that those are the moments that are good. You're uncomfortable. You're doing something brand new. You just need to be patient and understand, you know, give yourself grace, realize that it's going to take some time. It's going to take some extra effort. But over the course of time, if you can just stay consistent and continue to work your butt off, things are going to get better. Things are going to be much better than you ever could have imagined them being. But you just have to stay true to your word, and you just have to be honest with yourself, be humble, understand that there's always more to learn. There's always room to improve. Like, you could be the best person in the world at what you do, and yet you can still have room to improve. You can still have room to grow better and improve little small things about your strategy, about the steps you take. Just keep that in mind. And, you know, I tell myself to keep that in mind all the time. But it's tough, man. Like, this is, I mean, completely different than anything I've done before. Most of my life I've worked either manual labor jobs or just very mindless, mind-numbing, brain-numbing, easy, repetitive. I maybe had a little responsibility over others or over some clients, but like nowhere near to what I have now. But it all comes back to just being confident and being true to yourself and being willing to learn and wanting to learn, being hungry to learn more, and just improve every single day a little bit, 1% better every day. You know, I lost focus on that yesterday. I really did. I hadn't been in that type of mindset for a while. And luckily on my way home, I was praying, and I came to a realization as I was talking with God, like, you were kind of you were the old you today. Like, you were paralyzed by your fear of others judging you, others criticizing you, fear of not measuring up, fear of failure. All that stuff was infiltrating my mind, and I was allowing it to shape my reality, to shape my decision making, to allow me to just kind of, and it wasn't even a waste of a day either. Like, it was still a very productive day. I still got stuff done. I still learned and everything, but like, there was a lot of dead time throughout my day where I was just kind of locked in place and lost in thought, and like just questioning, like, is this for me? Like, can I do this? Am I going to be able to learn all this? And the answer is yes. At the end of the day, guys, if you're in a spot where you're feeling some doubt about yourself, some doubt about what you're doing, whether you're doing the right thing, if you can learn this thing that you're spending time on, just remember that you absolutely can. You just need to slow down a little bit, take a step back, and understand that, nobody can become an expert without being a beginner at one point. Like if you train a martial art and there's black belts in your gym, obviously there's some black belts in your gym. Like, it might just seem that they've always been this way. They've always had the black belt or whatever, but you got to understand, they started as a white belt too. They were a beginner. Understand, God has positioned you exactly where you are right now, and to run away from the difficulties is to shoot yourself in the foot and to delay the progress that needs to be made regardless. It doesn't matter if you avoid something now and push it off and act like it doesn't matter. Like at a certain point in life, that's going to come back, and you're going to have to learn that lesson to move on to the next level, to evolve. And until you do, you're just going to stay stuck and stagnant and grow more and more miserable in that position. And you might be in a position right now where you feel good, you feel happy, but you are bumping into a little bit of adversity, and you're just like, I'll just ignore that and keep on with everything else. That is exactly what needs to be attacked and taken care of as soon as possible. We have to recognize, identify, and figure out how to take care of adversity. Otherwise, that's where anxiety and stress pops up, right? Because in general, like, they end up being tasks that we know we need to get done, right? A lot of us will neglect cleaning the bathroom, cleaning the shower, whatever, cleaning the toilet for a while because it's like, it's not that bad. When we neglect things that we know we need to get done, that's where stress and anxiety and even depression can start to build. And when we start ignoring these things and have things start to stack up on our plate, it feels like we have all kinds of things to get done and no time to do it because we didn't take that 5 to 10 minutes in the moment to get something done. And we decided to procrastinate. And all of a sudden, procrastination once, not that big of a deal, but procrastination consistently over the course of weeks or even months or years will lead to a pile of things that need to be done that literally seems impossible to surmount. But the only way to start dwindling that pile down, start chipping away at it, is to start taking action, is to stop procrastinating, and is to dive into that uncertainty and that fear of failure or whatever fear you may have. For me, it's fear of criticism and failure and being judged. Just because I've been that way my whole life, I've always felt this need, like I need to be perfect. Whatever caused it truly, stems my fear of failure and fear of criticism, and I might need to make that the focus of my next meditation whenever I get around to doing that. I was doing real good for a couple weeks of meditating, but now I've kind of slipped off again because the routine switched up, and it kind of one of those things that, it never really has been a true solid habit that I've implemented. I've been thinking about it the past few days, and now I'm talking about it. So hopefully I remember to, write it down somewhere in my planner or whatever, or just make the time at a certain point to get back to doing that, because it really is nice just to truly be still and throw everything out of your head and just exist and feel that spiritual energy, that inner energy field just vibrating about you. It's very calming and it's very peaceful, and it's a very good reset. And it also makes me feel very energized too. So definitely need to get back to that. And I would recommend, checking out a quick tutorial on YouTube and like really truly ingesting what the person is saying about meditation and how to do it and what to focus on. And instead of just, watching it and be like, or whatever, then sitting there still for a minute and being like, this doesn't work. You really actually got to put some time into it and some effort into it and actually take it seriously. Otherwise, it's truly not going to work. Until you take it seriously, it will never work, and you will think it's stupid because it's not something that you can just easily, close your eyes and sit still and all of a sudden, boom, you're just there in that other kind of disconnected from your real life situation, and you're just within your existence and you're within the entire being of the universe. It's really a beautiful thing, but it's not that easy to accomplish. And even now, like, I'd say 1 out of every 5 to 10 times I do a meditation session, I actually truly reach that point where I have absolutely no resistance left, and I'm just kind of there floating in what feels like a void, even though I know I'm sitting in my living room. Like, I just feel like I'm just floating and just it's in a very warm like place. It's really cool. I suggest trying it. But yeah, guys, imposter syndrome is a truly real thing, but you don't have to let it let it alter how you think and how you go about your daily routines. You don't need to let any of it affect you. As soon as you start feeling, uncertainty or stress or anxiety or anything like that creeping in, depression even, just take a step back and take a deep breath and realize like, hey, clearly I got a lot of stuff to get done. So let's actually take a look at this and write out a quick game plan for the day, for even just my next hour or two of like what we're going to do. And we're going to sit here and we're going to focus on these one or two things, and we're going to put some real time and effort into it and actually learn this thing, or actually, develop my knowledge around this subject to the point where it's solid. It's in my memory, it's in my mind, it's in my head, it's in my brain. And it's a no factor now. It's just there. Actually, it's turned into a positive factor. It's not a no factor. It was a negative factor before. Now it's a positive factor. Don't let it take you over, and don't let it rule you. Even coming from me, I still go through daily struggles. These videos will never end because like I will constantly have different things happening in my life that I can pull from and learn lessons from, and then get on camera and record them and talk about them and pass them on to anyone else who is out there that may need that message. We all always have room for improvement. Elon Musk didn't get to where he was just by making one good decision and then everything else being handed to him. No, he made one good decision and then he made a million more good decisions on top of the others. But he also took risk. He also made mistakes. He also failed. He lost money. There's a clip somewhere out there about, he talks about, it was like 2009 or 2010, around Christmas time too. There was like a 2-week stretch where it could have gone either way every single day, where Tesla and SpaceX both could have gone bankrupt. And now look. But that just goes to show, like, even if we don't know, even if things feel futile, even if we feel like failure is inevitable, it is so important to just keep on getting up and keep trying and keep putting in effort every single day, because you never know when that life-changing decision is going to be made, or that you're going to meet that one person who's going to impact your life in a positive way for the rest of your time here on Earth. You never know when that moment is going to be coming. You never know when that opportunity is going to present itself. So you have to get up every day and be ready for it, because it's not going to wait for you. You can be up and ready for it 364 days out of the year, but if you decide to sleep in that one day and be lazy, all of a sudden opportunity comes knocking, but oh man, you're sleeping. You didn't set an alarm, and he's going to knock once, and if he doesn't get an answer within, a few minutes, bye, on to the next. Like, you missed out, man. Something to keep in mind. Thank you guys for checking this one out. I truly appreciate it. If you've been watching to the end of all of these, man, you are a trooper. I truly appreciate you. We're not going to stop here. We're going to continue growing. We're going to continue expanding. We're going to continue building a larger community here. These videos aren't going to stop. I'm only going to get better. You guys and girls, you're all going to continue to improve alongside of me as well. I hope I'm encouraging you out there to take a hold of your life, take a hold of your goals and dreams. Just not be afraid to go after what you want out of life, because there's going to be hard days. There's going to be a lot more hard days than there are going to be super easy and super rewarding days. But those hard days, the grind, that's what leads to those fun, rewarding, awesome days where everything feels worth it. But then it's back to the grindstone. It's back to setting new goals. It's back to chasing after the next level. Through that process, over the course of time, if you can attack life like this consistently with a positive mindset, you're going to start to understand and realize, like, oh, hey, everything is going to work out. Everything is going to be fine, but only if you keep this positive mindset. Things aren't going to work out, and you won't figure things out if you just kind of curl up into a ball, into the fetal position, and say, oh man, well, I don't know. I'm just gonna let this fear, this failure, this whatever stop me and freeze me in place and not allow me to achieve what I know I can. Once again, thank you guys for checking this one out. I truly appreciate it. We'll see you in the next one. See you.